Hello everyone, good morning, happy Saturday, hope everyone's okay. Just going to do a video today in terms of what I'm going to talk about for those of you that want to stick around and watch this one. I'm going to just do a video on the market, my predictions for this year, what's going to happen. I'm going to, using offline conversations that I've been having last year with, various different people in the PE and the VC space and business owners in general and cybersecurity leaders. I'm just going to make a big attempt to, give you some predictions, give you some ideas of what's going on in the market, what's happening, what's going to be good, what's going to be bad, and so on and so forth. Before I get into it, this is the last beach-related video you're going to get. So I'm still on my holidays. I'm not fully back at my workstation until the 5th of January. I decided to take a big break this year. Had so many days of doing 12, 14, even 16-hour days, sometimes 7 days a week. So in my head, I'd done a year's work by about September or October. So I've had a nice long break, nice time to recharge, and I can't wait to get back on Monday. To be fair, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be good. In terms of the US market, so as a reminder, we only recruit in 95% of our cybersecurity recruitment activities take place within the US market. You can't do a market analysis without talking about AI. I think OpenAI are going to have some huge competition this year. This is quite a big call, but I actually feel like OpenAI could, I hope they don't, but I feel like they could be in danger of being like the Netscape of AI. For those of you that are old enough to remember Google and Netscape back in the day, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I think there's going to be some stiff competitions for OpenAI. I think the Chinese are going to throw a lot of these open weight models into the market, which are extremely cost effective and actually pretty good as well. So I think we're going to see a fair bit of that. The reason all this matters is because the S&P 500 is just being so heavily propped up by AI at the minute. But I think on the whole things are going to be better next year. We've seen tariffs and things like that, and we've seen the tariffs come in, and I'm not getting political when I say this at all, but I think largely they've been I think largely they've been pretty ineffective. If I think about what the Chinese have done with rerouting their supply chains, I think they've had the tariffs changed on them maybe 17 or 27 times, something like that. And they've rerouted exports and rerouted supply chains and things like that. So whichever side of the political spectrum you're on in the US, whether you're red or whether you're blue, we can probably all agree the tariffs are, from a business perspective in the cybersecurity world, from what I've seen, they don't make life easy. So if we have seen the back of them, which I think we largely have done now, I think that'll be better for us all. Obviously, we've seen the back of Dodge, which is great. And I just think on the whole, the S&P 500, which is heavily related to the economic environment within the US, is being heavily propped up by AI. But I just think the efficiencies and the gains are so big that even if an AI bubble was to begin to burst, I actually think there'll be some sort of government debt that would be issued, or some sort of investment by the government to keep that AI wave going. I just think it's so important I think the AI arms race that every government is in globally at the minute is just so important, not just to the US, but to every government around the world. I think that there will be some sort of propping up by the government to keep that AI bubble going, which in turn will prop the S&P 500 up, which in turn will keep the US economy strong. So I think with all that in mind, I am feeling good about things. Whenever I speak to people in the VC space, by the way, or the PE space, that capital and that money isn't going anywhere. They're all just sat on the they're all just sat on their hands, sat on loads of capital. They've just been holding off from deploying that capital because there was just so much on the geo-political front. There was just so much going on last year. So that money hasn't gone anywhere, and that money will be deployed. And when it does, it trickles down to job seekers, it trickles down to people in the cybersecurity space, consultancies, MSPs, MSSPs, whatever that might be. So yeah, I think with all that in mind, I think there's a lot to look forward to. But yeah, they're the main things. On the sales side, I think GTM, go to market and sales hiring is going to be red hot in the cybersecurity space this year in 2026. I'm in talks and have been in talks the back end of last year with companies that I know that are looking for strong leaders and VPs of sales, things like that. I think the sales side is going to be really strong. I think product security is going to continue to do extremely well going into next year. And yeah, they're the main things that I think we're gonna see. But yeah, for everyone watching, thanks for taking the time. I hope everyone's well. If you are still on your holidays like me, have a great last couple of days before we all officially get back to it, hit it hard, and start really making some headway going into next year. But yeah, have a nice weekend, have a nice Saturday morning, and thanks for watching.